November is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's something that needs to be talked about. Men's mental health. It's one of those stigmatisms that kind of keep it quiet. Men don't express their feelings, men don't open up and talk about it, but it's something that we all face. And it's good to see athletes and actors and professionals starting to promote it and talk a little bit more about it, because a lot of men face these things. Over 264 to 300 million worldwide live with some form of depression. 284 to 300 million live with anxiety-related disorders. And men's mental health disorders are not a result of a personal weakness or a character flaw. Interesting that the Mayo Clinic did a 30-year study with 800 patients, and the scientists found that being optimistic, we had better health and lived longer. They noted that they coped better with stress, and that they were less likely to develop depression. And at times we need to be optimistic. Sometimes we need hope, right? And as men, when we deal with depression or anxiety or stress, we keep it within, we bottle it up. And that's what this man who wrote a letter to E.B. White in 1973 did. He was concerned with the world conditions. He felt the stress and anxiety, and he wrote her a letter, and this was the response. It said, "Hope is a thing that has left us in a bad time. I shall get up Sunday morning and wind the clock as a contribution to order and steadfastness. Sailors have an expression about the weather. They say the weather is a great buffer. I guess the same is true of our human society. Things can look dark, then a break shows in the clouds, and all is changed sometimes rather suddenly. It is quite obvious that the human race has made a queer mess of life on this planet, but as a people, we probably harbor seeds of goodness that have lain for a long time, wanting to sprout when the conditions are right. Men's curiosity, his relentlessness, his inventiveness, his ingenuity have led him into deep trouble. We can only hope that these traits will enable him to claw his way out. Hang on to your hat, hang on to your hope, and wind the clock, for tomorrow is another day." And that's what we need sometimes. We need just hope. That's what the man was looking for. He was looking for hope. He was overwhelmed by anxieties and stresses of life. And when you get that hope, you then have the momentum to continue on. Because then comes the hope, then comes the motivation, then the reason for tomorrow. And it's okay. It's okay that we find ourselves in a situation like that today, where the clouds are out, it's gloomy, it's dark. But it's not always going to be gloomy, sad, dark days. The storm is going to pass. We can't stop the storm. But when you're amidst the storm, that's when you have to express, as men, your feelings. You have to acknowledge the anxiety, stress you're going through. And at times you might need someone to help you, someone to hold you, someone to keep you warm throughout this physical storm. The storm is there, but it's okay, because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. See, there's the sunshine at the end of the storm. It might be a cloudy day, but that doesn't mean that the sun isn't there. So we might be going through a situation, but doesn't mean that there can be a change. When we think about what we're going through, because we all go through things. If you were to close your eyes, and if I was to ask you, how are you today? What heavy burden are you carrying? What tears do you hold back? Because have you ever felt so much hurt inside? Like you have no more tears to cry? Today, crisis follows me like a shadow in a dark alley, stuck, nowhere to go. surrounded by all my enemies. Sometimes we feel that hurt, that anxiety, that stress. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. That's the fear. That's the fear we have, that we're not good enough or that we're going to be alone. And some things we can change and some things we cannot change. But are you going to believe in yourself? Or are you going to believe in what others say about you? Those are the fears. Those are the stress and anxieties that weigh heavy upon us. We got broad shoulders. We can take it. We can handle it. But there comes to a point in time where we got to realize what we're going through. Can you forgive those that hurt you? Because that's when the healing starts. If you don't practice forgiveness, you might be the one who pays the most. See, forgiveness builds healthier relationships. Forgiveness gives greater well-being, less anxiety, stress, lowers blood pressure, fewer symptoms of depression just by forgiving others. Showing compassion can improve our health. And compassion is more than just a feeling. Showing compassion means that not only you only notice what others are going through, but you're moved to help them. It's that empathy. And you have to reach out. You have to tell people about what you're going through for them to be able to help you when you're in that situation. Just like the Mayo Clinic, it says to have a better health and to cope better with stress, to be less likely to be depressed, you have to be optimistic. So what are 4 ways that can help us to be optimistic? 1, when you find yourself thinking that you won't enjoy something or won't succeed in a certain project, just reject the thought. Try it. Just reject the thought. Focus on the positive. 2, try to enjoy your work. Regardless of your job, look for aspects that you find satisfying. It might be 1 thing out of 100, but look for that 1 thing. 3, look for friends who view life positively. See, if they view it positively, they're gonna project that towards you, and you surround yourself with such people. 4, deal with a situation that you can't control and try to accept those that you cannot control. See, if it's out of your control, there's nothing you can do about it. But if it's within your control, deal with it. Number 5, every day write down 3 good things that happened to you. 3 good things. It can be small things. It's easily someone opened the door for you, saying thank you. Whatever it is, it's going to help you to think positive, to be grateful, to be thankful, and to be optimistic. What are 4 things that can help us overcome stress and anxiety? 1, exercise. Exercise well. It could be 10, 15 minutes a day. Number 2, take the time to rest. You got to sleep. You got to relax. You got to get a good night's sleep so that you can be rejuvenated to be able to handle the next day. 3, get outside. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Walk around the block. Enjoy the fresh air. Enjoy the flowers. Enjoy the scenery. 4, meditation. Relax. Reflect on the positive things. And if you're breathing, breathe from your diaphragm. So you breathe, you relax. See, we're all going through difficult times. Lately, there's been difficult times and tough times, and times that are filled with stress, and times that are filled with anxiety. We have to talk about it. It's okay to talk it out. It's okay to express the anxieties and stress that we have as men. Because when we look for the hope, that's all we're looking for. Something to cling on, some type of momentum to continue to push forward. Because it's not always going to be dark, gloomy days. Because the sun will shine another day. So hang on to your hope and wind the clock, for tomorrow is another day.